Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling something that, well, it might feel like common sense,
Right.
but the data, the expert opinions we've looked at, they really underscore just how critical it is following up on medical test reports.
Exactly. Yeah, we've sifted through, recommendations from bodies like Joint Commission International, NABH, plus strategies from consultants, insights from doctors.
hmm
And what really jumps out is that what happens after the test, it's often just as crucial, maybe even more so than the test itself.
So our mission here for you listening is to give you a really solid grasp on why this follow-up isn't just like a polite suggestion.
No.
It's vital for your health. We want to equip you with the know-how, how to do it effectively, and point out some of those sneaky pitfalls, things that are easy to miss.
Yeah.
And the key thing right up front, it's natural to think, okay, the work's done when the blood is drawn or the scan's finished.
Right. You feel relieved it's over.
But actually, those next steps, that's where the real impact on your health journey often lies.
And that's such a crucial shift in perspective, isn't it? We focus so much on the test itself, the tech, the expertise in running it,
Sure.
but the information, the data it gives us, it's only valuable if it's actually used. Unseen results are basically, well, unused information.
Okay, so let's unpack that. Why is actively following up so important? What's a real weight behind this idea?
Well, think about it like this. A test report is a very specific piece of info. Your doctor ordered it for a reason, right? To help build a clearer picture of your health.
A data point.
Exactly, a data point.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, interpret itself. If those reports aren't actively looked at, reviewed,
They just sit there.
they just sit there. And potentially critical findings, things that might signal, hey, we need to act, they stay hidden.
That's a great way to put unused data. So beyond just missing information, what are some of the actual tangible consequences of not being proactive?
The consensus in the material we looked at is pretty stark, actually. Delays in follow-up. They could lead directly to delays in diagnosis. And we're talking a whole range here. Manageable things like diabetes, infections, but also, more serious situations, cancer, for instance.
Wow.
And what's really interesting, multiple sources stress this. How you feel. It isn't always the best guide.
Right. I feel fine, so everything must be okay.
Exactly. You might feel perfectly well, but your tests could reveal something lurking under the surface that needs attention. Just relying on symptoms or lack of them, it's really a gamble.
That's a sobering thought. Feeling okay doesn't give us a free pass to ignore those next steps. So, okay, how can you listening make sure you're following up the right way? What are some concrete actions?
Well, the first really actionable step is being assertive. Know when your reports will actually be available.
Don't just wait for a call.
Definitely don't wait.
Yeah.
When you're there, at the lab, the clinic, getting the test done, proactively ask, get a specific time frame. Is it hours, a day,
Yeah.
2 days?
Nail it down.
Nail it down. Get that info directly from them.
Okay, so we have that time frame. What then?
Then you make a note of it. Seriously. Put it in your phone, on your calendar, wherever you track important stuff.
Don't just rely on memory.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
The key is taking ownership here. Don't leave it to chance. Don't rely on the system to, nudge you. You're the point person.
Right, my responsibility. Okay, we know when to expect it. What's the next move once the report is actually ready?
Step 2, get your hands on that report. Promptly.
How?
Well, it might mean physically going back to pick up a copy. That still happens.
Sure.
But more and more, you'll find results online through patient portals. Those secure websites or apps.
Yeah, those are becoming common.
So if that's the case, make sure you know how to log in, download it as soon as it's posted. And here's a really critical detail.
With that.
If you had multiple tests done together,
Yeah.
double check you've received all reports. Sometimes they're released separately. Maybe one takes longer than another.
Good point. Get the full picture.
Yep.
And do it quickly. So, okay, now we've got the report. What do we do with it?
All right, this is where, curiosity kicks in. And that's understandable. It's perfectly okay to look at your results.
Take a peek.
Take a peek, absolutely. But, and this is a strong recommendation from all the experts, avoid that temptation to self-diagnose, especially based on anything flagged as abnormal.
Why is that so critical? Why not try to figure it out?
Because interpreting these results, It's complex. It really needs the context of your entire health picture.
It's not just about one number being high or low.
Exactly. What looks like a scary high number or concerning low one might actually be perfectly fine, clinically speaking, for you, based on your history, other conditions, medications you're taking.
Lots of factors.
Tons. Fixating on one number without that professional interpretation, it can cause so much unnecessary worry. And honestly, it might even lead you down the wrong path in understanding what's really going on.
So peak, maybe, but resist playing doctor. What's the absolute must-do then after getting the report?
The next absolutely essential step, no question, is scheduling and attending a follow-up appointment with your doctor.
Having the report isn't the end.
Not even close. That's not the finish line. Your doctor needs to review it, explain what it means in your context, your overall health, and discuss any next steps. Is it treatment, lifestyle changes, just monitoring? They need to make that call.
Okay. And what should we bring to that appointment? Just the report itself?
Yeah, definitely bring all the reports, even if you know they've been sent electronically to the doctor.
Why? As a backup.
Exactly. Have a physical copy or even, screenshots on your phone. It's a great backup, plus you can refer to it during the chat. And importantly, prepare some questions beforehand.
Like what kind of questions?
Good ones to ask are, okay, what does this report actually tell us about my health? Are there any immediate concerns here? What are the next steps? Do I need treatment or do we just watch this? And are any other tests needed? Or maybe referral to a specialist?
Those are really practical questions. Helps you have a proper conversation, not just passively receive info.
Exactly. It empowers you.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly. Let's talk about common mistakes. What are the things people often get wrong in this follow-up process? The red flags we should watch out for?
One of the biggest ones, honestly, is just waiting for the phone to ring. Like we said, it's your job to be proactive.
Don't assume they'll call.
Never assume. Not the lab, not the doctor's office. It might happen, but you can't rely on it. Another really risky assumption is thinking silence means everything's fine. That whole no news is good news thing.
That's dangerous in healthcare.
Very dangerous. You always, always need to actively seek out your results and make sure a professional reviews them. Don't guess.
Okay, those seem like easy traps to fall into. What else should we be careful about?
Don't procrastinate. Don't put off following up. Health conditions can change, right? And even a short delay, maybe just a week.
Even a week matters.
It could, yeah. A week's delay in getting results reviewed and acting on them could potentially impact your treatment options, your outcome. And finally, keep your reports organized.
Ah, the paperwork.
Or the digital files. Our sources really strongly suggest creating a personal health record. Physical file, digital folder, whatever works. Store all your medical info there, especially test results.
Why is that so helpful?
It's invaluable, honestly, for tracking your health over time, seeing trends, and super useful if you see other doctors or specialists later. They have your history right there.
That's really clear advice. Keep records. Now, what about listeners who are, managing healthcare for others, maybe elderly parents, kids, a spouse, any specific strategies for them?
Absolutely. If you're the healthcare manager for someone else, being extra vigilant is key. Simple things work. Set up reminders on your phone, your calendar, for when reports should be ready.
Little nudges.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're juggling multiple reports for different family members, a shared folder can be a lifesaver.
Physical or digital?
Either. A binder, maybe, or a secure cloud folder everyone can access. Just keep it organized. And importantly, if the person you're caring for needs help understanding things, offer to go with them to their follow-up appointments. It provides huge support, helps ensure everyone understands the results, the doctor's advice, gets everyone on the same page.
Those are great practical tips for families navigating this. Okay, so to really hammer this home, let's do a quick rundown, the essential takeaways from our deep dive today.
Okay, let's summarize. First, take the initiative, find out when your report's ready, get it promptly.
Got it.
Second, never assume results are normal until your doctor says so. Doesn't matter how good you feel.
Right.
Third, resist that urge to self-diagnose from the report. Always talk to a professional for the real interpretation.
Oh, okay.
Fourth, get organized. Set up a system, physical or digital, to keep copies of your medical report.
It's crucial.
And finally, maybe the most important, remember that actively following up on your tests, it's a fundamental part of taking responsibility for your own health.
That's a fantastic, concise summary. The core message really couldn't be clearer, could it? Timely follow-up isn't just a nice to have.
Not at all.
It's absolutely vital. It's part of getting the care you need right when you need it.
Precisely. And With that in mind, maybe a final thought for you listening today.
Yeah.
Think about a medical test you've had in the past.
Yeah.
Any test. Did you actively follow up? Did you make sure you got the results, understood them, knew the plan?
Hmm.
Just taking a moment to reflect on your past experiences.
Hmm.
It could be a really powerful way to empower yourself, to be more proactive, more engaged with all your future health tests.
A great point to end on. Think back to empower your future actions.